The videos that will be provided through this channel will contain the impacts that are associated with pornography. The impacts that pornography has on the world are almost all negative. Because of the problems that are created from this topic, a solution was determined to be the focus of this first video on this channel. This video will quickly discuss the problem, landscape, and solution. First is to define what policy is. Policies are typically laws, regulations, procedures, administrative actions, incentives, or voluntary practices of governments and other institutions. They are often created in response to problems in hopes to help prevent further problems. The ease with which pornography is accessed creates a negative impact on society. Let us discuss some of the immediate problematic impacts pornography causes. A major threat that pornography poses is how accessible it is for underage individuals. Underage individuals who experience viewing pornography have higher risks of depression, anxiety, and a variety of other issues. Statistics help form a quick understanding of the accessibility pornography is to minors. It is easy to conclude that most individuals in today's technology-filled world will see pornography by the time they are an adult. 50% of 11 to 13-year-olds, 65% of 14 to 15-year-olds, and 78% of 16 to 17-year-olds reported having seen pornography in some way. 63% of children aged 11 to 13 who had seen pornography said their first exposure had been unintentional. 83% of parents agreed with the statement there should be robust age verification controls in place to stop children, under 18, seeing commercial pornography online. Pornography creates additional negative stresses on society that often are swept under the rug. A major issue directly linked to pornography is human trafficking. Take these stats for example. 24.9 million people are trapped in forced slavery, domestic servitude, or sex trafficking. Minors who became victims of sex trafficking in 2015, 55% met their traffickers through a website or mobile app. Of the survivors of sex trafficking in the past decade, 75% reported being advertised online. Human trafficking generates about $150 billion a year, two-thirds of that revenue comes from commercial sexual exploitation. Pornography is directly benefited from those who are sex trafficked and helps generate greater revenue for the porn industry. Though pornography creates many other issues, minors viewing pornography and sex slavery are the problems that this policy proposal is focused on. The question posed to help solve these problems would be as followed. What type of policy, if any, should be implemented to combat the rising use of internet pornography among minors and provide additional supportive protection to human trafficking victims? What policy would be useful for any corporation, state, or federal government to implement? Implementing a policy can have a broad effect on several different groups and organizations. Now that a question has been posed, let us take a quick look at the landscape and those who potentially could be impacted. Governmental health departments. Currently no health department across the nation has active guidance towards internet pornography. However, there are areas of focus that are directly and indirectly linked to internet pornography which include the following: dating abuse, domestic violence, drug abuse, sexual injuries, rape, and sexual assault. Health departments would be interested in any policy that could in turn promote healthy behaviors, and prevent injury and disease. In creating a policy against internet pornography there would be a need for increased educational advising that would come from the health departments. The Department of Justice. This federal department would be affected due to the many offices that it presides over, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI helps counter cyber crimes, organized crime, prostitution, and child crimes. Another major office that would be influenced by any policy set against internet pornography would be the Office of Sex Offender Sentencing, Monitoring, Apprehending, Registering, and Tracking, known as SMART. These offices would include the Office on Violence Against Women and Project Safe Childhood. Due to the high amount of human exploitation that occurs against both genders and all ages when it comes to internet pornography, these offices could see benefits from policy options. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE. This division of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security would specifically be affected by policies towards pornography. They are heavily involved in combating child pornography, human trafficking, and cybercrimes. Policies to better regulate internet pornography access can help give additional assistance to this branch of security. State and local city police departments also play a role in internet pornography. Police departments often monitor the use of internet pages that contribute to illicit human trafficking and child pornography. Investigations help law enforcement to conduct procedures in rescuing victims of human trafficking and child pornography. A policy could provide additional needed assistance for state and local police departments. Nonprofit organizations provide additional support in a variety of ways. Many organizations assist those who have been trafficked or need help escaping sex trafficking situations. These organizations include Operation Underground Railroad, Polaris Project, International Justice Mission, and RAFA International. These organizations could see major benefits from a policy that could lend support to their causes. Web browsers and search engines play a major role in how pornography flows to the masses and often how people are first exposed to pornography. Many search engines contain filters that use informational tags to withhold searches from being presented. However, these filters can be easily turned off by users. Also, images, videos, and websites can slip past the filters, still making them accessible. Most pornography is searched via search engines. Google is the most widely used search engine for pornography. Policies could potentially have the greatest impact on how search engines operate and provide their services. App developers and distributors play a part in the easy accessibility of pornography. Applications such as Twitter allow for access to pornography with no serious policy against posting pornography. Apps like Twitter only use a small blocking button that warns of sensitive content. Though I have seen many times that this blocker does not work and porn is easily seen. The large and growing popularity of TikTok additionally creates an open space to post porn that can be easily found, even if it is just for a moment. Policies implemented could have an impact on how these apps are distributed. Any policy that could be enacted would have an impact on websites that distribute pornography. The design of the policies will reduce the amount of website traffic that these distributors would receive. As a result, there would in theory be a decrease in revenue created with fewer visitors. However, the policies would be there to help reduce underage viewers. Additionally, policies can potentially help reduce the amount of sex trafficking that is so commonly posted throughout different websites. Policies that decrease the amount of web traffic will in turn affect those who work in the cam model industry. This adult-themed industry relies heavily on having as many potential clients as possible. However, the cam model industry is also a location for human trafficking victims to be used for profit. Policies can also promote additional financial aid to rescue and rehabilitate victims of sex trafficking. Individuals that create a career out of performing pornographic acts would be affected by any form of policy. Over the years, pornography has broadened its reach to those who could receive financial stability from performing. Performing in pornography for profit can be done from home and posting pictures or videos on Pornhub just like YouTube. But policies would decrease internet traffic, affecting porn distribution and in turn how much porn models receive in pay and/or opportunities to create higher revenue. Sex toys are well used not only in pornography itself but also in advertising on porn websites. Policies that help prevent underage viewership and decrease website traffic could affect the sex toy industry. Drug pharmacies that create male enhancement drugs use porn websites heavily to advertise their products. Porn is well known to increase the risk of erectile dysfunction, so there is no better place to promote these sorts of drugs than where the problems are caused. If policies decrease website traffic, these companies could see a decrease in advertisement views and turn a possible revenue impact. Policies that could be put in place would in turn make it more difficult for those who are traffickers. Traffickers most often are involved due to the heavy demand and high income that slaves can provide. If pornography decreases in viewership, it can, in turn, reduce the demand of trafficking victims to be used as products. Victims of trafficking can hopefully be rescued, released, and find the needed help. Policies set up can help reduce the demand for pornography and services that are produced by trafficking victims. With a better understanding of who could be impacted by various policy options, we can now dive into the different policies. These options are designed to help answer the question and provide a solution to the issues at hand. Option 1. Require all web browsers and search engines to request payment to unlock access to unfiltered internet searches. Currently, each web browser and search engine defaults with safe search filtering. This safe searching helps filter web pages that contain explicit material on them. However, it is easy to turn this filter feature off on the browser. Some browsers will even pop open an icon asking to turn off the filtering if the search is requesting nudity or pornography, thus quickly offering the user an option to turn the safe search feature off. If all web browsers and search engines require a subscription payment to unlock the safe search, then underage individuals would be better protected from coming across explicit material. Having a monthly or yearly credit card/debit card subscription payment as a requirement to unlock access to unfiltered internet could help provide proof of age. The subscription could be a cost of $5 monthly payment. The revenue can then be split up to help fund the policy enforcement, help maintain the filtering, and help fund agencies or organizations that battle against human trafficking. The setup can allow the subscribers to choose how their subscription is spent. The subscribers could choose non-profit organizations such as Operation Underground Railroad, OUR, Polaris, or Rafa International as examples. With such a policy, independent watchdog groups would need to also be funded to perform checks to ensure that only pornographic websites are being filtered. This policy would need to rely on fines if filtering aspects are not followed and maintained. To help enable the search engines to keep filtering correctly, websites must add tags of what is contained in the website. If a website is found to contain pornography and has not tagged their website as containing explicit material, the website owners will be fined $1,000 a day the tag is not added to their website. Additionally, a fine of $100,000 for each day any search engine that knowingly blocks any website that is not pornographic and dangerous in nature but is blocked because of political motivation. Pros: locking access web browsers safe search filters would add additional protection for each household. This would keep porn from being easily accessible for children and teenagers through search engines. The cost to maintain the filtering would be covered by those who wish to have access to unfiltered internet service. Additionally, these fees taken can in turn be divided up to agencies and non-profit organizations that work on ending human trafficking. Because of the trackability that the payments would provide, this could potentially deter registered sex offenders from viewing pornography when they, by law, should not be. Cons: it may harm the idea that the internet is free. VPN services disguise IP addresses for users when using the internet. This may allow users of VPN services to get around website browser filters if the web browsers don't establish the same policies for all users anywhere in the world. Minors that have access to debit or credit cards could potentially pay for the subscription of unfiltered internet if their parents are not involved in checking their payments. Option 2. Restrict access to social media apps that allow pornographic material or do not have policies constricting the distribution and access to pornography. Apps such as Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. Apps would need to be restricted at the location they are downloaded and installed, such as Apple's App Store or Google Play. The restriction applied should only allow access through card payment. The payment would then support the policy and should also donate to a non-profit organization. See Option 1 for the proposed payment distribution. Pros: this would help protect minors from using social media applications that contain pornography. Can potentially deter registered sex offenders from using social media to contact minors. Cons: app developers may see this as an infringement on their business. Some social media app users may see it as a restriction on their freedom of speech. In conclusion, the two proposed policy options are designed to do the following: help protect minors from accidentally coming upon porn on the internet and through social media. Provide additional funding to anti-human trafficking organizations in an effort to combat modern-day slavery. Discourage registered sex offenders from using the internet and social media apps. Imagine if these policies were in place. Children can search the internet without stumbling across pornography that would have a lasting negative impact on their life. A person can have the choice to subscribe to unblocked access to the internet, and in so doing can choose how their subscription funds are used in helping human trafficked victims. Sex offenders would be discouraged to use Facebook to share child porn and use social media tools to reach out to minors. That is a world that I would want to live in. There is a silent and neglected war happening worldwide. This war rages in many societies and cultures. It impacts millions of families. The battles rage within the lives of tens of millions of individuals. This war is rooted in easy access to pornography. Like millions of others, I was just 10 when I unintentionally came across pornography. And from that moment I have battled a 2-decade addiction. Porn led me to attempt suicide as a teenager, lose out on numerous opportunities, cost me thousands of dollars, and led me to be unfaithful to those closest to me. My life, however, led me to get a degree in public health. Along with decades of addictive behaviors, I am now focused on trying to help others by expanding knowledge of the negative impacts of pornography. This goal to help others will be attempted through the mediums of videos and through a short book. With that in mind, I hope that I can have your support in this crusade through donations and purchases. With each donation and book purchase, I will be donating half of the proceeds to Operation Underground Railroad. Having spent my life indulging in the images and videos of many women enslaved to the life of sexual gratification, I hope to redeem myself by providing some monetary means to victims of human trafficking through the organization Operation Underground Railroad. Please share this information with others. You have an excellent chance when sharing this video with someone else, that they are currently being impacted, or have been impacted by pornography. Thank you for your time and learning more about the impacts of pornography.